Well, once again, hello. I'm trying something different today. Different type of video. What I've been wanting to do for ages is try and make a track type of video, like I don't know how to put it, an advice video maybe, a track guide or a sense. I don't know really how to explain it, to be honest, but it's it's something I want to try. Obviously, I've got my VOD from WR for Texas, and I've got like my PB lap of a. It was a 31.7, couldn't find the video, so I've got a 31.8, which was alright. But yeah, let me know how this goes, and well, let me know what you think of it. Either just pin me in my Discord if you haven't already. If you're not in Discord already, feel free to join it, or just stay in the comments about it. I don't actually know what to do. This is my first time trying something like this, so yeah, what could go wrong, yeah? Anyway, hope you enjoy. Like and subscribe if you do, and let's get right into it.
Right, welcome to a hot lap at the circuit of the Americas. You want to burn your battery down to 60% on the main straight. You see the blue board, the 150 board on your right hand side. You want to start lifting coasting at that, and you see the black box has just gone by. Start braking there. You want to get an early rotation so you can use all of the curb. You can use a lot more curb than I did on this particular effort. Then as soon as you apply the power, you'll get up to around 85, 86% as now we make our way down towards flat through turn 2. You want to turn off your battery once you hit 50% and instantly straight into none so you can save through the essence. You have to use so much curb here. You have to shorten the track as much as possible here. You can see we're right on the limit there, but don't go too much, otherwise you could invalidate your lap time through turn 6 and then through turn 7. Then we go up through turn 8. Again, you have to hug that inside curb. Use all of it available. Then we go through 9. Then do a little splash of battery, burn until you're around 40%. Then you see that 150 board is when you go to around 80% throttle and then lift and coast just before the 100 and then brake around 75. Flick it on in and then apply the power. And then a little bit of an oversteer as you make our way now all the way down this back straight towards turn 12. You want to use all the battery. Put it down to absolute nothing left in the deployment here. Because nonetheless, you want to make sure you build up the speed. As we make our way now down in towards turn 12, you want to do a slight lift and coast, brake around 125 meters, flick it on in. You can use a lot more of that curb here. And here's an example from what I did in WR. You see similarities again, lift and coast just before 150, brake around 125, and then flick the car on in. And look how much more you can cut here. You can cut it so much, you'd be losing time if you didn't. We then make our way through turn 13, again, flick it on in to help with the rotation. And then we're now going to make our way in towards turn number 15 here. After we go flat through 14, you want to set it up as wide as possible here. Let's brake slightly later when you're comparing it to this slab because it wasn't the most ideal one. If we then make our way on our final run in qualifying WR, you see, set up the wide line, get close to the outside curb, but don't want to use it. And then as you flick it on in, you want to make sure you tap the apex as you apply the power. As soon as you feel comfortable, straight in the car, get straight, full throttle, and then you want to make sure you have a bit more battery for this triple right apex here. Usually what you do, I was learning at this moment, you want to have ideally 50%, use that black board on the right to flick it on in through turn 19. Use all the curb available, use all the exit, and then again, similar again with the black box, brake and then flick it on in. Use all of the curb available again as you put your foot to the floor to set a 1 minute 31.861. The strategy here is medium hard. The hard tires are 2 steps harder, so they last forever, but they're not the greatest in terms of race starts. You want to do under 2 laps minimum. I know it says 26.4 laps there, but I want it to be safe. So you want to start at least under 2 laps. If you go based on how many laps of fuel I had over, you can start maybe minus 2.4 laps to be completely safe. But then, we can go to a race start example here. You see, you want to have your throttle around 50%, 45%. Have the res in between 10.3 to 10.5k revs. Watch for the lights. And then, as they then eventually will go out, you want to be careful with the throttle. You don't want to instantly stamp it here. You want to do a slight implement of more throttle. You go back down to where you started, just to help with the revs, to help the wheels spin up. And then as soon as you get to second and third, it just floor it. Use your battery, and then with race starts, you want to be careful. You want to ensure that you're not in action here. If you're in that outside line in hairpin race starts, just go as wide as you can without losing time here. That's what I did. You see, I momentarily lose the position to the Ferrari, but the outside line with momentum on the exit will just help you hold on to the position here. As we make our way towards the SEC, we've held on to 5th position. No contact in there whatsoever. As we make our way towards the S's now, you can see that Ivan not using their battery, but which you have to be cautious here. You want to make sure you don't run into the rear of anyone behind you. But then you can see, keeping it nice and steady, making ourselves all in single file. Then you can see, something I did want to highlight. if someone brakes early in front of you, or you feel like braking early, don't panic. Don't panic, because there's a higher chance if you put more brake on, you will just lock up here. So you're completely fine as you go into the corner here. So here's a race lap then. This was the fastest lap I did in my WR race. It was a 1:35.6, I believe. Make our way towards turn 1. You see the 150 board. That's when you want to go to around 60% throttle. And then lift and coast like you would in qualifying at around the black board again. Flick it on in again. In qualifying again, you want to use some more of the curb as you apply the power. Around 73% battery, obviously you're going to have less for the most parts because of how you have to use more area in certain races. Similar with turning it off around 50% as we go through the S's. Not using as much curb as normal because you want to make sure you save your tyres here, because curbs, apexes, they can cause some more tyre wear here. But then you can just see, as we make our way into turn 8, look at the line we want to take. We all take it wider to help with the momentum. It helps you carry speed through the corner. You want to use all that curb again. Then we go through turn line. That sausage curb you saw on the inside, you don't want to use that because it could unsettle your car. And then we make our way down towards turn number 11 once again. You just see it's going around 57 throttle, even before 150, lifting off before 100 and braking, similar to qualifying, around 85, 75 meters. Rotate it in, but you'll notice with the steering inputs, you have to be. You don't want to flick it because you need to have front tyre wear here. As now we make our way down in towards turn number 12 there. Once again, you have to make sure you don't flick it all the time. You can flick it in the race, but you don't want to do it every corner because it builds up tyre wear at a consistent rate of not. As we go in towards turn number 12 again, awareness. Looking behind, make sure the driver isn't too far behind. I brake around like 250 meters before the corner here, and then rotate it on in. Smooth inputs here, using that inside curb again. The leaders are fighting, but then again, you just want to have smooth inputs. You want to make sure you save the tyres here, and then we make our way through turn number 13, then through turn 14, we make our way in towards turn 15, where once again, you have to set it up wide before we make our way through the corner. Just having, again, smooth inputs here, smooth throttle informations. If you want to be careful with your rear, short shift as well, if you want to manage your rear tyres. Then we make our way through the triple right apex, hold it in medium through 16, 17, and 18, and then as you arrive at turn number 19, you want to flick it back into none. Similar with qualifying, use the black box to rotate the car in. Same with turn 20 as well. Use the black box, get the car turned in. If you feel like you've broken a bit late, you can flick. When you flick, it's used to help rotate the car. In terms of battery management, then you want to save your battery in these particular areas. At the opening corner of the circuit, in turn 1 through the section of turn 7, 8 and 9 as well. That's another place where you can save the battery, highlighted now for you. And then likewise with turn number 11 turn number 11, then your main part to save your battery, turn 12, 13, 14 and 15, you can save 70 to 80%, and then also turn 20 you can do a little bit of lifting and coasting. But turns 12 to 15 is where you're going to save most of your battery. That's where your fighting power, in a sense, does inaugurally come from. Obviously, you need to do this because to turn 11, because if you're low on battery on the exit of 9, you use turn 11 to gain some more battery back. But you have to lift and coast, otherwise you won't be quick. It's a matter of fact in these regulations. But turn 12 to 15 is where you can gain the majority of your battery back. And there's places in every circuit where there's always a crucial part to ensure you save your battery. And well, here's an example then. This is an example of when I'm low on battery. We enter the lift and coast phase of here, braking around, lift and coast for around 300 meters before the corner. 23%, we got to remember that, because if we make our way then through turn number 12 here, you see we're already up to 62% on the battery, so 39% gained already in this section. If we make our way to turn 13, 58% we was on the entry. We go through turn 13 on the exit, up to 78, 79, 80. So we've gained 22%, I believe, 22% on that section. We then enter turn 15 on 78%. And then as we go on the exit at the corner, well, look at that, 100% battery. That's if you are saving on that particular series of corners here. You have to use battery, but then this is us full pushing here on the final lap with no lift and coast here at all. As we enter it with 0%, then we flick it in through turn number 12 and look at that, already up to 30% on the battery. Pull it up to medium here, that will then deplete down to 26%. We go then through turn 13, a little bit wide on the apex because these front tyres were just completely giving up to 48% now, so another 20%, 49% actually. So then we make our way in towards turn number 15 here, entering with around 47, 48%. As we exit the corner, We apply the power, 68%, 69, 70, 71, 71% we exit with. So you gain, when you're not managing, 71% you can gain. Awareness now is another thing I wanted to highlight. So you see, I look for the inside of Ivan, but you see the Williams, he's not using his battery, Ivan is. So I'm thinking, I don't want to make this 3-1 to the corner. Let Ivan do his thing, because there's always the chance when drivers go on the attack, it can open up a door for you. Ivan goes on the inside, no contact made. Brian has a snap on the exit of the corner, so then it opens the door for us to have a run at him in towards turn number 13 here. Leave him plenty of room as we apply the power on the exit of turn 13, just leaving in the room here, because we want to make sure there's no contact here, especially on our in-lap here. This was our in-lap, just for reference. And you see, again, the inside line is so crucial when making the move here. You could dive it. Because of how the corner opens up, you can dive it on the inside line. Minor wheel hook there, when you see I'm just trying to turn out of it, but we leave him room nonetheless on the exit, as you make our way into the triple right apex of 16, 17, 18. He's still there, so we still have to leave him the room. When you see a red arrow, unless it's a crazy dive bomb, leave the room, right? If he's gone for it from downtown and he hits you, it's his fault. But like, if you're alongside, you see a red arrow, just leave the space. But anyway, the pit entry now. You have to be aggressive here. We're peeling into the box here on lap 9 of 28. The hard tyres can go the distance. It's a matter of fact. A little bit of a sort of wobble on the exit here. There would normally be a pit bull, but that white line is where you have to slow down and, well, kind of master the pit entry there. 78 kilometers. You have to brake. You have to attack it to get the most out of it. You know, just see, trying down the pit lane, we entered it with around 47%. You can see we're in our garage now. For 86% we're up to, and then the tyres are serviced, and then we'll trundle down the pit lane again. The battery will rebuild and back up to 100, so you can save a lot of battery in this pit lane. 60, 70%, I think. And then as we make our way towards turn 1 on the pit exit here, we have to open this corner up, because if you take that normal line, you're going to be ruined for the hairpin. So we instantly, as soon as we can, get off the racing line and then apply the power on the exit of 1, going flat through turn number 2, and then again, just instantly making sure here. And this is another thing, working together when it's not your teammate. As you get higher up the ranks in sim racing, you have to ensure that you can work with the other cars, because overtake swapping, DRS swapping, what it used to be, was crucial to get the most race pace in total here. So I'm low on the battery. You can see 28% I was on as we entered the corner. The Williams was going through. The Williams had more battery. Fine, whatever. We let him go on the inside line. Leave him the room here. But when you're working together, you don't want to fight him. Like, I didn't want to fight him less, really. And you see, I don't use battery. I only put it onto medium. I don't use boost. He uses boost, so we can get fully ahead. And that's working together to help you gain as much time as possible in comparison to others here. And, well, this is a lap now of when you're low on the battery, this is what you do. Into turn number 1, we will arise here. 150, that's when you start going off the throttle. That's when you do a full lift and coast, when you need to save battery. Again, similar, brake around the black box as we head through turn number 1. Williams goes slightly wide here, rotate it in. You clip the apex then to apply the power. Look at that, we're already gained around 30% battery. Then use a little splash of boost here, turn it off around 58%. And then go in medium and then put it into none as we enter the S section here. Then go through turn 4, go through turn 5, and then go through turn number 6, where again, you have to feather the throttle here, because it can help gain battery, it can help with rotation as well, as we go through turn number 7, and then we go uphill through turn 8 and turn number 9. In this occasion, I was just saving my tyres a bit, so I'm not taking that wide line to help with momentum, because yes, it's faster, but it does kill the tyres a bit more. Splash of battery again, down to around 55%. Then we make our way in towards turn number 12. 50% throttle around 200 meters for the corner. Lift and coast at 100 and then brake around 75. Flick the car on in because I felt I broke a bit too late there. So maybe brake around 85. And then again, when you take a white line of hairpin, if you're slower, if you're slower in the mid corner, you can usually get a better exit. Now we're going to make our way using our battery all the while. But then you see, I'm not under pressure, so turn it off around 25%. Then do some lift and coasting way before the corner. When the curb changes colour, that's when I did the lift and coast. Brake around 140, 150 metres here. And then rotate it on in ease up to 60% already. 40% gained already just before the exit of turn 12. We're going towards turn number 13. Again, just doing some micro lifts as well. Having the brake pedal on does help with gaining some battery as well. So you want to do some brake trailing as well, or trail braking, I think it's actually called, sorry. And then we make our way now in towards turn number 15 here. Look at that. We was at 25%? We're now up to 100. We gained 75% battery already here. So helps so much. And it's just a little splash of battery as we head through the triple right apex. But then before we make our way in towards turn number 19, again putting it in none, micro lifts and then braking up to 76%. Then same with the final corner, micro lift and then brake in, rotate it and rotate it in with ease. And then look at that, up to 84% on the battery. So we now have battery to properly attack again with. And then if you again rinse and repeat with saving the battery, still 44%. I don't feel it was like the greatest amount. Lifting coasting around 150, braking around the black box again, and then just rotating it in, flicking it in again because I felt like I broke too late. I was completely wrong. And then on the exit, just with ease, simple as you like, getting that battery back up, and then you are well done. You are now competitive again because you have battery. Here's the race strategy then. Again, I'll show you. I can go through it better this time. Medium hard is plan A. Hard medium is plan B. Your pit window for medium hard opens between lap 8 and 13. Your pit window for plan B, hard medium, opens between lap 15 to 19. I personally prefer doing plan A because of how long the hard tyres last. Hard tyres last competitively for so long. Even when you're at like 60%, they still feel very good. In terms of tyre wear per lap, you want ideally, if you're going to lap, no matter what really, it depends on, say if you're pitting lap 9, maybe 7 or 8% a lap, but ideally you want 6% a lap on the mediums, 4% a lap on the hards. You want to ensure your mediums could go competitively until you box, likewise with the hard tyres as well, but just make sure you're fully competitive, and well, that's my track guide basically done for you. Just be easy.
Well, I hope the video went well. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I like the circuit after a lot of practice I did. I think that's the best way to put that. Yeah, I hope it does help. If you have any suggestions, comment it, message me on Discord, yada yada, wherever you can find me to try and message me any ideas about it. But yeah, if it's subscribe if you haven't, we will have hopefully more of these videos to come with the track guides, league races, my team as well. We're in the final 5 rounds of my team. So yeah. If you did enjoy, like, subscribe, and we will see you all for the next one. Ciao, adios. Bye.